Hello there, and welcome to our kickoff of the 23rd Annual Garden State Film Festival. Between March 27th and March 30th, you can enjoy over 200 incredible films and film-centered events. These films are from 14 different countries across 9 venues all throughout Asbury Park in Cranford, New Jersey. I am your host, Paige Ryans, and today I am here with the team behind the making of Love Danielle. Welcome. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. We're so glad to be
Thanks
here.
for
It's
having
nice
us.
to meet you on screen.
Absolutely. We're so excited to have you here today. It's going to be a great discussion. So, why don't we kick it off by just, I'll throw it to you guys so you can introduce yourselves and your role, your title in the film.
All right. Hi, I'm Devin Seidel. I am the co-writer, producer, and actress. And the film is basically based on my own personal story of being a BRCA mutation carrier and deciding to undergo preventative surgeries to reduce my risk of breast and ovarian cancers.
Hi.
So, but it is a comedy.
Comedy is good. Comedy is good.
Yes, and hi, I'm Amy Byer-Shainman. I'm the executive producer and producer of Love Danielle, and I'm also a BRCA1 gene mutation carrier and an advocate, author, producer, and surrounding BRCA and other hereditary cancer syndromes. And I got involved because I could not be involved. This is my passion in life.
Well, thank you.
Awareness and education around these issues.
Absolutely. Very important. So thank you so much for being here today and just talking about this incredible film. I know you kind of mentioned, Devin, just a little bit about just kind of like a little summary about Love Danielle. But if you want us to do like a little deeper dive, like what can we expect from Love Danielle? I know you said there's comedy in there, which I know when it's a serious kind of topic, it's nice to have a balance of it to lighten the mood a little bit, sort of say. So tell us a little bit about Love Danielle.
Well, it's the first scripted feature film that deals with a carrier of a BRCA gene mutation who has not been diagnosed with cancer. So we're pretty excited to be able to explore that issue. And as I said, and you said, there is a lot of comedy. We felt like it's important to have comedy. Also, I think that when people go through something where they have an obstacle and they think that there's no way they can get through it, and then they do come out on the other side, you're able to look back and find some of the comedy and some of the ridiculousness of what you've had to go through. And I think we really worked on finding that and really bringing that forward.
Absolutely. And we see the comedy just kind of like balanced throughout the film. So it definitely, it's a nice comedic element to it. And what would you say was your inspiration that drew you to writing the film, and then also just kind of creating this film about it, since it's kind of based loosely off of like your experience, your personal experience? What kind of drew you to this project to write about it?
I think it was truly that there was not anything out there in entertainment that deals with this subject matter. Angelina Jolie wrote her op-ed many years ago about being a gene mutation carrier, a BRCA gene mutation carrier, and undergoing these preventative surgeries. And people seemed to respond more to the fact that she was altering her body rather than to the idea of someone having to deal with this genetic mutation and the decisions that they have to make. So it was important for me to put something out there because there is such a huge community of us. And we don't really have anything that shows the difficult decision-making process.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that just like you said, this is the first feature film that tackles, the BRCA gene mutation. And so I think that it's just a great approach to it. And so what was the filmmaking process like for you?
Oh my goodness. That's a great question, Paige, because we filmed over many years. We really wanted to make sure, especially early on, I wanted to make sure that we got footage of what my body actually looked like when I was going through these surgeries. So I actually put off my breast reconstruction surgery so that we could film and get some footage of what my body truly looked like. That was all the way back in 2020. Then we worked for many years shooting different parts, and it's basically become my life. I mean, it's such a huge part of my life. It really followed what I was going through.
That's awesome. That's amazing. And I know you said that there's actual footage, so I feel like that it's just including that. I feel like it's really a personable element to be included in that film. And so where did you find the cast and the crew to play this, to play the people in the film?
I think we're incredibly lucky that people want to help with a cancer film or an issue. Although I guess this is we say pre-Viver film. Pre-Viver, somebody who has an inherited genetic predisposition to cancer, a family history of cancer, or some other factor that puts them at higher risk of developing cancer. And I think that we connected with Joanna Kearns early on. She has had a double mastectomy after a DCIS diagnosis. She feels very strongly about the issue. And then we reached out to Leslie Ann Warren, who I had actually worked with when I was 9 years old. I played her daughter in a miniseries, and I've just always loved her. And she felt obviously that this was quite an important issue. And we were so lucky that she came on, and then Jamie King came on. Everybody really wanted to help spread awareness, especially for getting genetic testing. That's something that I think people don't know is readily available in certain situations. And we wanted to make sure that people had all these options open if they wanted to pursue them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you speak to like the dynamic. I think that just like the interactions that you've had with, the castmates, like you mentioned, Jamie King, I feel like everyone, the character chemistry is really there. And I think it's just very incredible. So what would you say that you wish more people knew about the BRCA gene? Like how to get tested, just kind of like that process of just securing that information.
This is all Amy.
Yeah, well, that's the reason I wanted to be this film is what do I wish they knew? Well, I wish they knew or know a little bit about the pre-Viver experience and to really know what it really means when a female or male carries a BRCA and how much someone's cancer risk is increased. Ovarian cancer, breast cancer, male breast cancer, prostate cancer, pancreatic cancer, melanoma even. So I want people to be aware that how do they actually go about testing, the best person to go to understand what they should be having, and when those test results come in, how they should be interpreted. And that's why we included the genetic counselor scene, because that's really important to me. And then our resource at the end of having certified genetic counselors. Because genetic testing, it doesn't mean anything unless you know what it means. There's so many genetic tests on the market. So you have to have the correct tests ordered and interpreted correctly.
Absolutely, for sure. And would you say, or are there any resources or organizations that have kind of helped through this experience, whether, the personal experience or through this filmmaking process that you found useful, helpful, or that audiences can kind of just like look into to get a better idea of just like understanding, the BRCA gene?
Well, as an advocate, I'm all about providing. You can definitely follow me, BRCA Responder, on social media and on my blog. I have all that information linked in my profile on Instagram at BRCA Responder. I provide a multitude of resources, whether it's for hereditary cancer risk, certified genetic counselors, breast health. I run the gamut. So to name one specific organization, I think it's better just to say, hey, utilize utilize the film, go to my blog, utilize the resources in the film. We have nsgc.org, which is a great one, and just go to that and look from there to see what, you know, you're interested in. But there's so many genetic tests on the market that definitely go to my blog and research a little bit. Search the key bar on there, what you're looking for.
Absolutely. Thank you for providing that. And so with this film, you know, we see a lot of comedy and everything. So Devin, just talk to me a little bit about just the filmmaking process and how it was for you. Were there any favorite notable key moments in your mind, just like enjoyable moments of the process? Just talk to me a little bit about just that filmmaking process from your perspective.
I mean, working with Leslie Ann Warren, who is someone that I've always loved, was pretty fantastic. Raymond Cruz came in to do an amazing cameo of a male breast cancer cameo, and seeing him play a role that is very different from any of the other roles he's played, it was just absolutely fun. I think a really important moment for me was watching. Well, I was watching, but I was also acting in the scene with Jamie where I say to her, "Thank you for getting cancer, so I might not have to." And she says, "That's what sisters are for. What are sisters for?" And that is word for word a conversation that I had with my own sister while she was undergoing chemotherapy for breast cancer. So experiencing a moment like that I had been through in my real life and then was a part of recreating really hit home, really hit my heart. It was a way to truly process a moment that seemed to be surrounded by such a whirlwind of doctors and questions. And so to have a way to revisit it and process it in a way was so special.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And were there any challenges? Like, I mean, I can imagine that, you know, over the course of like a few years, that you said you kind of were capturing this footage. So it's been in the work over the course of a few years. Were there any challenges that you encountered during this process? And kind of how did you manage to like, you know, it's I think it's a process of like pivoting. So how did you kind of like manage those challenges if encountered?
I think you definitely said the right word, pivot. That's actually what I was going to say, is with any film or any project, you're going to experience challenges. I just think that's just part of it. And I think it's as in life, you just have to learn to pivot. And if something doesn't go as planned, okay, let's not view it as a problem, but let's view it as an opportunity. How can we then pivot and then go from there? And I think that Devin and I worked together very well and made that happen very well, because we certainly did have, you know, challenges in terms of working over the span of so many years, and a lot of, you know, rewrites and figuring things out that didn't work. So I think pivot is the key word. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah. I know like it's kind of like a natural instinct. So I think especially like within this process, I know it's probably just like second nature for you. So is there anything, question for both of you, but like anything that you learned through this process, whether it be about yourself, whether it be just like new information, just the process of filmmaking itself, like what's something that you took away from this film?
Devin. Well, it's exhausting and exhilarating at the same time. I will say that.
Yeah, and I think
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you.
I usually, you know, I am an actress and I have never produced or written before. So I am very used to filming and being a part of a project as an actor or an actress, but I learned a lot as a producer and as a writer, and it really increased my knowledge of this whole industry and of movie making. And I think I'm able to look at it in a way that has a lot more perspective now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just to kind of like conclude in a sense, what is something that that you hope that once audiences get the chance to screen this film, what's something that you hope leaves with them as they leave after watching this film as well?
can close it out. How's that? About the comedy in the film, I think really makes the serious subject matter very palatable. So I really want people to walk away with an understanding of when someone has, this is heavy stuff. And to really get a grasp of what it feels. Devin's journey or Danielle's journey in the movie, thinking about their own family history. What does this mean for me? Should I be reaching out, to a genetic counselor? Maybe I should be having more important discussions with my family at Christmas and Thanksgiving, or holiday times around the table, saying, "Hey, fill me in," and really to take care and prioritize their own health. That's what it would be.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. And I think just encouraging conversation around inherited predispositions for cancer, just as Amy said, really talking about it. That's the most important thing to do.
Absolutely. I think just having conversation about it just increases the awareness, it increases the discussion, and it keeps it present, and it keeps people talking about it. So I think that's one of the best courses of action. And Amy, if one more time you just wanted to mention, you said your resources. So just to kind of like, you said audiences can type in what were those.
Oh yeah, so I'm on social media at BRCA Responder on all across social media, just one handle. But and my blog is actually BRCA Responder, the BRCA Responder.blogspot.com. But you can also go to brcaresponder.com and there's a link to my blog there as well. And from there, you can type in the search bar, what you're looking for.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you both just for being here and just for talking about the film. You can screen Love, Danielle on Sunday, March 30th, Block 21 at the Berkeley Kingsley from 11:45 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. An incredible film, and it's just so exciting. It's an amazing film, and it's definitely so well worth it and so well worth the excitement. Devin, thank you for being here. Thank you for telling your story and just being here today just to talk about and just to spread awareness. And Amy, thank you for just sharing your production and your resources and just your contributions to this film. It's definitely something that I'm telling you, it's we're looking forward to it, and we're just happy to have you as part of the Garden State Film Festival this year.
We're so happy to be screening there. Thank you so much.
Thrilled. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Will you be joining us at this year's festival?
Yeah. I will. And Amy will be popping. Yes, Amy will be there at the screening, and I will be there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. So once again, the 23rd Annual Garden State Film Festival, March 27th through March 30th. You can get your tickets now at gsff.org/tickets. Congrats again. Thank you so much for being here and just being a part of this conversation. You're welcome. And we'll see you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See you at the festival.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks.
Bye.